function of clauses, finite clause. So clauses are the principal unit sentences are made of. We have been talking about phrases, different constituents of sentence, noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, and we have also talked about embedded sentence. These embedded sentences were actually clauses. They can be a finite clause or non-finite clause. So let's look at the finite clauses, right? So, for example, if we look at this, he felt that he should dislike the little girl intensely. Here we have an embedded clause that he should dislike the little girl intensely. It is actually a finite clause. What is a finite clause? A finite clause is the one which has a finite verb. Finite verb is always limited in time. For example, out of different forms of the verb, we have two verb forms, bare infinitive and past tense, which are finite verbs, and wherever they use, they make a finite clause. He decided that he should never meet her again. So we have should meet. We have a finite verb here. He believes sincerely that a friendship with her would be exciting. So a friendship would be exciting. So all these three sentences have embedded clauses which are finite clauses. If we give them bracketing, we can find, for example, he, that is the noun phrase, we have the main sentence, felt that he should dislike the little girl intensely. So this finite clause is in the verb phrase. Felt is a verb, and that he should dislike the little girl is the finite clause. Look carefully at the structure of the verb phrase. In addition to verb felt, it contains a that clause which is said to be embedded in the verb phrase. Remember that we should have bracketed such that clause with s bar. We have talked a lot about this, and they are complementizers plus s. That is the complementizer, and it has s bar. So s bar plus complementizer, then we have sentence. We have main sentence, complementizer, and s bar sentence. That is the complementizer. So we have s bar, he should dislike the little girl intensely. So this will be the bracketing of the sentence we have talked about. The grammatical function of that clause is that of direct object, right? Since it can be brought, used as a direct object, and the sign of a certain constituent of being a direct object is that it can be brought to the first place to make the passive sentence. It should be possible to make it the subject of a passive sentence. That he should dislike the little girl intensely was felt by William. So that he should dislike the little girl, we have brought it as the subject, and that's why we say that it's the direct object. So this may not be a very elegant sentence, but still it is grammatical. A good way of improving the sentence would be by means of processing called it extraposition. We can make it, it was felt by William that he should dislike the little girl intensely. Obviously, when we make such types of changes in the sentence, they improve our styles, right? And they have certain stylistic meanings to convey to the reader. We find then that subject and object may be realized not only by NPs but also by clauses. So a sentence have subject, verb, direct object, and adverb. So subject can be a word, a noun phrase, and can be a clause, which obviously will be a noun clause. Similarly, an object is a word, a noun phrase, and a noun clause, right? So analyze sentence one above in the same way. So if we analyze it in the same way, we find sentence one, he felt, we have verb phrase, we have a transitive verb felt, and then we have that sentence 2 which has that complementizer, and sentence 2, he should dislike the little girl intensely. So this is how we can give a tree diagramming to this sentence. So the internal structure of S2, the embedded clause, is as follows. Sentence 2, he should, and verb phrase should like, and noun phrase the little girl, and adverb phrase intensely. So similar can be added to a tree diagram. We can see the same sentence 1, he felt, and then sentence 2 start with complementizer that, and we have sentence 2 start with a noun phrase, and then we have auxiliary which is should, and we have verb phrase dislike, and a noun phrase the little girl, and adverb phrase intensely. So trigram contain among other things 2 sentences. The sentence 1 is the main clause. This node, sentence 1, dominate all other nodes, obviously all other constituent of the sentence. Sentence 2 is the embedded sentence, S bar sentence. So in this sentence it function as direct object of the main verb feel, right? In other words, S2 is object clause. So we have object clause, subject clause, object clause, and adjunct clauses. So S2 is complementizer plus S bar 2, and the element that in the complementizer serve as a subordinator. So that is a subordinator. The appearance of that tells us that it's a subordinator, though this clause will be a subordinating clause, right? Each S has its own subject, NP, its own VP. The head of VP is in S1 is feel, and the head of VP in S2 is dislike. So this is how we can know about the finite clauses. Both verbs are monotransitive. They have one object, right, requiring a direct object as their complementizer. So they require one direct object, felt the whole clause, and then dislike the noun phrase. So these are some of the function of the finite clauses.